The following podcast is a next level production.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Wilhelm. I am your host, Ben Beck, and with Mother's Day having just passed, I figured what a better time than now to give some attention to those television moms that we know and love from all over from the past decades and beyond. That's right. This week, we're revealing our choices for our top 5 favorite television mothers. And I'm really excited for my co-host this episode. We've been longtime friends going on 20 plus years at this point. God, that makes me feel old. We were fellow musicians back in high school. We've remained friends ever since. Please welcome to Wilhelm, my friend, Mike Sullivan.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Ben. Thank you for having me today. I look forward to this. I was a little nervous, but hopefully the jitters will kind of clear up here, and hopefully I will not suck.
Well, I mean, it's casual conversation. I mean, so there's nothing really to be nervous about. There's nobody watching us.
True.
Which is good.
Good point.
It's just you and I over Zoom, which is always fun. Have you recorded any podcasts before, or am I kind of breaking the seal on
You're breaking it.
All right.
Yeah. I've wanted to do it for a while, and the topics that I would cover are like pretty much a snooze fest. So I'm glad to be a part of this. So,
well, I mean, there's nothing that's really a snooze fest. I mean, there's podcasts. That's the beauty of podcasts, is that there's always something for everyone. True. You would be, actually, I don't think you would, because you're a tech guy like I am, but to say like there is literally a podcast on any topic you can think of, I think is kind of an understatement. There are multiple podcasts pretty much on any topic.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's good. But curriculum, you talk about curriculum, you'd rather kind of watch paint dry than to hear a podcast on let's talk about curriculum. It's just
Wilhelm talks curriculum.
Yes.
So this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite TV moms because Mother's Day has just passed. I wanted to do this episode a little bit closer to Mother's Day, as in like the Monday after, but unfortunately it's a week past just because of the timing of release of schedule, but close enough. That's really all that matters. And I'm excited because, Wilhelm was kind of a little bit on a hiatus. For anybody that didn't hear the last episode that I released, which was my panel with Carrie Elwes from Atlanta, it was, I kind of took a break because I got really tied up in working 2 conventions that happened, but a lot of great contacts came out of it. And I'm excited to finally be back to doing this. So
yeah, no, it's great to see you grinding away just from your, social media. I'm more than ecstatic from you. It's to see you grind away. I'm proud of you, man. To see how well you're doing, and you're really, you're kicking ass. Can I say you're kicking ass?
Oh yeah. Okay. You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
The podcast is marked as explicit. You're fine.
Okay. All right. We're good. Yeah. But no, it's like I said, to know you as far back as I do, and to see how well you're doing and doing something that you genuinely love and have such a passion about. It's mind blowing to see just you really kind of getting into it now. And it's awesome to see everything kind of happen for you the way it is.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, like, as you mentioned, like we've known each other for, like I said, 20 plus years at this point. I mean, we attended high school together. I think you were a grade or 2 ahead of me. I believe.
Yeah. 94. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you were definitely a little bit ahead of me in school, which, makes no difference. We were both musicians. We both did marching band in high school and everything. And I'm so happy that you and I have kept in contact. I mean,
yes.
Like you have a family now. I still don't, but that's okay.
Enjoy it.
For the time being, hopefully for the time being. But yeah, I mean, just the same, like I've enjoyed watching people that I've known since high school grow in that aspect of, seeing their families and knowing their families have grown. I mean, I have friends I attended high school with who their kids are now going into college, and it makes me feel old, but there's kind of like a sense of love and admiration for it behind it.
Absolutely. Too. And I guess I can say that, we were geeks, right? And so Absolutely. It's good to see the geeks winning. You see all the I guess the plastics and everything like that, and not shaming anyone, but like, yeah, we're kind of kicking ass, and they're kind of doing just So it's a little vindication that we're doing a great job. And like I said, seeing you grow and everything like that, I'm proud of you, man. It's really awesome to see how awesome you're doing. So
no, and again, it means a lot. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Let's get into the podcast, though. Let's start talking about these TV moms and showing them a little bit of love. So just a reminder to anybody who's new to the program, or if you tend to forget the format, I don't know how you can, but just in case, reminder of the format: neither Mike or myself have revealed any of our selections to each other for our top 5, as not to influence each other. So at this point, I don't know any of Mike's top 5. He doesn't know any of mine. And ordinarily I give a spoiler warning at this point, but there's nothing really to spoil when it comes to this. But the warning is out there just in case something does happen. That said, let's get into it. Our top 5 favorite television moms, starting at number 5, going down to 1. We'll kick it over to you, Mike. First off, what have you got for your number 5?
Okay, so I am pure Gen X, and there was one TV show growing up that I had to watch every week, just because, I don't know, just to see kind of, and it sounds kind of geeky, but the styles and everything like that. But Silver Spoons, right?
Okay.
So so I had this. I have to say, Kate Summers, she got married to Edward Stratton, the second, I think, and basically became Ricky's stepmom, right? And so seeing her on Buck Rogers, she just, I always had a crush on her, and she's like 70 something now. And you know what? I still love her. So
nothing wrong with that, man. It's,
yes,
there's those memories attached that keep those, for lack of a better word, crushes still happening.
So just seeing, she falls in love with this guy who loves toys, oh my God, that's the best month in the world. I have my toys now, and you know what? Hey, my wife puts up with it, but hey, she loves me and my kids love it. So
I don't remember a lot about Silver Spoons. I mean, I remember Ricky Schroeder. I know Jason Bateman got a start,
Alfonso Ribeira.
Well. Oh, see, I wasn't aware about Alfonso Ribeira.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool though. Like that's a good mom. That's not one that was on my list, only because again, I don't remember a lot about Silver Spoons.
She looked great.
But I remember the train.
Yes,
wasn't
the train.
Like a train that rode through the house?
Throughout the house. It was the best thing in the world. I wish I had it. And
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
At that point. Cool. That's a good way to start it off with number 5.
Yeah. So what do you go next, right? Who is your number 5?
My number 5, it might surprise a lot of people, only because you might be surprised to know that I'm a fan of the show. But I went with a mom from the Golden Girls, and that's Sophia.
Okay. I considered her just witty, dry. Oh, she was the best. Estelle Getty.
And you're absolutely right. She was the best. I mean, it's a little, when you think about, the actresses that played them, and you realize that Estelle Getty was only a couple years older than Bea Arthur. Mm-hmm. But Bea Arthur was supposed to be her daughter. The age gap between the two of them, it would not have worked.
Right.
But just the way Estelle Getty was and the way she played, it absolutely worked for the show. And you're right, like the dry sense of humor, the sarcastic wit of Estelle Getty, it was, I think she was, in addition to making the list of my top 5 favorite TV moms, I think she was also probably easily my favorite character from that show.
Absolutely.
Because there wasn't an episode of that show you could watch where Sophia did not crack you up.
Exactly. She was the comic relief. And so she would talk about stories from Sicily, right? Mm-hmm. And so basically cutthroat, and she was just gangsta straight up. I mean, she didn't take any crap, and it was funny to see her kind of how she interacted. She was always tough on B. Arthur as her daughter, but then she had like kind of this loving kind of tough love thing going on with her.
Yeah, she was a no nonsense mother. Like she just didn't take any shit from anybody, from her, from Rose, from any of the girls. She took nothing from them. Yep. And it's what made her amazing. So she had to be on my list for top 5.
Absolutely. And I debated about that one. So I'm glad that she gets a mention. Definitely.
She gets a mention in the list. Yeah. Cool. So moving on, number 4, who you got?
Okay. I think you'll appreciate this one. So Annette O'Toole, Martha Kent from Smallville. So
why didn't I think of that?
Yes. And even better, she was Lana Lang in Superman 3. So which kind of, when I first heard of that casting, I'm like, oh my God, that's so perfect. It could not be any more perfect. And then going on, how do you raise a kid who's an alien? And she kind of had to do things and plot along as best she could. She was a great homemaker. She loved Jonathan, and they ran the farm, and then she later on went on to be a senator, right?
I think it was a senator because she was working a lot with Lionel.
Yes, correct.
And I think it was a senator position that she ended up taking.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why I didn't think of that one.
And I thought you would, I thought that would be on your radar, but Smallville's one of the best shows ever, in my opinion.
And I love Smallville. So, I mean, and you're right, like Annette O'Toole as Martha, as well as John Schneider as Jonathan, like they were a great cast.
Yes.
For being Clark's parents.
Absolutely. They were tough. They were, they had fortitude, but at the same time they were loving. You could tell that they loved the hell out of everyone. And they were just genuinely good people. And they portrayed the characters very well. I feel like kind of in middle America, I guess you couldn't ask for a more perfect casting than Annette.
Yeah. I mean, and even like you mentioned, just the no nonsense of it all is, Martha and Jonathan. What made them such great parents, Annette O'Toole as Martha especially, is the fact that they knew their son was more powerful than they were, but they were still willing to risk everything to protect him.
Absolutely.
Even not having his abilities, they still were willing to risk it all, including their lives. So
absolutely. Especially when he got the red kryptonite, when he kind of went off, definitely, they were kind of having an oh shit moment, but they reined him in pretty good, both of them. So
Yep. If the audience hasn't been able to tell yet that we're geeks, they should know by now.
Yes.
So my number 4, I went with somebody who's a little bit more. You're going to notice that a lot of mine are a little unorthodox. They're not the traditional like Carol Brady, those kind of moms. But my number 4 is probably the most unorthodox of all of them. I went with Peggy Bundy from Married with Children.
Nice. Katie Seagal. Oh my God. She did such a great job. And to put up with Al, just kind of trading barbs with him, it was probably the most perfect casting. And I still to this day love, if I catch an episode, I love both of them. And, seeing her without her wig and everything like that, that bouffant, she was a really beautiful woman. I mean, I think
she still is.
She still is. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But and just to see kind of, have the cigarette kind of walking around and everything like that. And the tight, the tight outfit that she would wear, like kind of,
like she the was leopard skin dresses.
Yes.
And
like she never like evolved from high school, kind of, from Polk High, right? They went to Polk High. So yeah, I think that's an awesome choice. I think Katie Seagal and, she's awesome. I mean,
it's an unorthodox choice just because of how she was and her behaviors and such. Like you're right, like smoking, constantly spending Al's money, even though Al didn't have any money. Yeah. Like, it's a very unorthodox choice. But at the same time, I think the reason why I chose her and what makes her good for this list is just like, kind of mentioning like we did with Martha, both her and Al, when it came to their kids, they yelled at them, they picked on them, they put them down constantly. But when it came time to be a parent, like when it came time for Al or Peggy to protect Bud or Kelly, they stepped up. And
absolutely.
That's what made them they might have been horrible people in a sense, but they were still, in a roundabout way, still great parents.
Yeah, I mean, even
to Kelly and Al, or Kelly and Bud.
It's the same kind of thinking that I do with my kids. And to this day, what she eschewed upon her family, basically, you might fight and put each other down at home, but when you're outside of your house, you put on a unified front. Doesn't matter who's picking on you, you all stick together. And I get that from Peggy. Peggy and Al, they definitely, she was a great mom.
We have the right to make fun of you and put you down, but if anybody else does it, we're throwing hands.
Absolutely.
Like that's the way she was. And it was fantastic.
And she would definitely cut you if she could, I mean,
she'd burn you with that cigarette if it came down to it.
Absolutely. And her play with Marcy.
Oh yeah. Marcy Darcy.
Marcy Darcy.
Yeah. I still watch episodes of that show too. It's still great. It still holds up. It
really does. And it's just weird seeing Christina Applegate, how she's kind of evolved and everything, but that's for another story for another day.
But I mean, like, even with Modern Family, like, it took me a while to shake the Al Bundy from Ed O'Neill when I first started watching that show, because that's all I knew him was that's all I knew him as for so long.
Yeah.
Like, even when he did the movie Dutch with Ethan Embry, which I still love, there's elements of kind of Al Bundy in that character, so you can kind of see past it.
Right.
But then when he did Dragnet with Ethan Embry, it it only lasted a season, and I couldn't see past Al Bundy. And then again with Modern Family, that show ran for 11 seasons.
Yeah.
And it probably took me the first season or two to kind of shake the Al Bundy from Ed O'Neill. And
that makes sense.
And again, he became another great dad in Modern Family.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have for my number, we're on number 3, right?
Number 3.
So I kind of went with, I've kind of gone back, and this is something I watched just kind of mindless. I don't want to think, and I enjoy it immensely. Lois Griffin from Family Guy.
I still watch Family Guy. It's still good.
You have a son who's trying to kill her or kind of maim her in any kind of way. You have a husband who's just a complete buffoon and idiot. You have a daughter who's basically invisible, and then you have a son who's just kind of it's Chris,
an imbecile.
Yeah, pretty much. So how she handles everything, and she's rich, and she's a Peter Schmidt, right? So she comes from a rich family, and it doesn't matter for her. Her family means everything, even if she forgoes riches, and she puts up with Peter. Peter.
And she's another one too, that when it comes to her family, if her family is threatened, Lois will put up with nothing, like to the point of killing people.
Yes.
Because I believe I think even in the most recent episode of Family Guy where I don't know if you saw it, but in one of the most recent episodes, there was a girl that comes into the house and tries to emulate Lois so much that she takes over Lois's life. And Lois isn't having it. And I can't remember, because I kind of watched it in the background. I can't remember if she ends up offing the girl or just getting her, like making her disappear. But like Lois wasn't fooling around. She wasn't taking that at all.
And then, she was a total babe, because you have like Quagmire always trying to hit on her and everything. Giggity.
Well, even Brian was constantly in love with her.
That's right. Brian. How could I forget Brian? Brian was in love with her as well. And there were many episodes where he was trying to, win her love. And great mom.
No, Lois is a great choice. And I'm glad an animated one made it onto the list, because I don't have any in my top 5. So I'm glad at least one of us picked an animated mom, because they deserve props too. They're just as good moms as anybody else.
Absolutely. And there, there's another one that later on down the line, I'm sure we'll talk about, which
I'm sure.
Kind of same. Yeah.
I'm sure. Right along the same vein.
Yeah.
So for my number 3, again, an unorthodox choice, and I'm not sure if you were a fan of the show or not, but who I chose for my number 3, we never actually saw her face.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who it is?
Is it Mrs. Wallowitz?
It's Mrs. Wallowitz.
she is on my list as well.
Is she? Okay,
yes,
yeah.
She is.
Debbie Wallowitz from The Big Bang Theory.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, again, like there's not a lot of loving aspects of it as there were with like, you know, Sophia or Peggy or Martha or anybody. She was more just background comic relief because we only saw her face.
Right.
But you knew the connection that her and Howard have. It was a weird one.
Yes. Weird is an understatement.
Yeah. It needed therapy. But I mean, but at the same time, like there's the episode where Mrs. Wallowitz passes away.
Yeah.
And you can tell how much of a connection she had to every character when that happens, even though she was a background character. And it's sad that happened. It's mainly because the actress that played her passed away as well. So they kind of had to write the character off rather than find someone to replace a voice, which I really respected the fact that they went that route rather than.
No, I agree. Even though Bernadette Rostenkowski could emulate
a great impression.
Great impression of her. Yes. But yes, I mean, she catered to her son's needs. Like, you know, like I think there were some episodes where she set his bath water up or some crazy stuff like that. Yeah.
She always did his laundry. Like,
yes.
Howard would be like, well, the only decision I have to make is whose turn is it to do laundry, Bernadette's or my mom's?
Yeah.
You know,
and he was the quintessential mama's boy, you know, and
without a doubt.
Yeah. And she did everything for him, which was like kind of the best thing in the world. She catered to his geek tendencies. And if someone was sleeping over, oh, she's sleeping over tonight, you know, or your friend's sleeping over, Howard, you know?
Yeah. But at the same time, like she was incredibly protective. I mean, when Howard became an astronaut, she wasn't having it. Like she didn't want him leaving the planet. She didn't want him going up on a rocket because something could happen to Howard. So even though we didn't see her, we could definitely feel her influence as a mom throughout the series. So I when I was going through the list of TV moms, I was literally going through a list of just TV shows, thinking of like, who's the mom on this show? Who's the mom on this show? And then when I got to Big Bang Theory, which is a show that I still watch.
Oh yeah. It's one of my all-time favorites.
I'm constantly watching. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't watch one or two episodes of that show. It's usually a show I put on when I'm laying in bed, like to fall asleep to. So when I got to Big Bang Theory and I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, well, who are moms on here? Well, there's Sheldon's mom. There's Leonard's mom. Oh, Howard's mom. Like, Howard's mom has to be on this list
without question. And I mean, she never got any screen time, but she was kind of the most memorable of the moms there. So exactly. I think I remember the one episode. What was it where I think Howard was going to propose to Bernadette or something like that, and basically, I think they had to cross the line or kind of tell Mrs. Wallowitz that Bernadette what she wasn't Jewish, right? And I think she was
Catholic.
Yes, and I think they were at a deli, and she kind of either choked on a pastrami sandwich or went down.
She passed out on the toilet in the bathroom.
That's right.
At the house, and Howard had to break down the door to get her out.
And he couldn't break
down the door because she fell up against the door. And oddly enough, too, I just realized this: of all the moms of all the characters, Penny's mom, Katie Sagal.
That's right.
Who we just mentioned as Peggy Bundy.
And what a more fitting! It could not have been more fitting person to be Penny's mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
I think. We saw the moms of all the characters because we saw Raj's mom too.
Yes.
Yeah. So we did get to meet all the moms of all the characters,
and they were all awesome. I mean, you know, Leonard's mom was very, cold and unfeeling. You had
Christine Baranski was so good in that role.
Yes, and then for her little thing with Sheldon, it was perfect. Yeah. They could have done it more perfectly. And who else was there? There was Laurie Metcalf, right?
Laurie Metcalf is Sheldon's mom. Yep.
And she's perfect.
And when the two of them, when Christine Baranski and Laurie Metcalf got together, like it was the woman of science and the woman of extreme faith.
Yep.
And it was just like they're button heads. Like, read a book, woman. When God writes another one, I will. Like it's so ridiculous, but it was so much fun.
It's good stuff. Oh wow, this is great. This is a good list.
Yeah, good. But that leads into our top two. So, who do you got for number two?
Okay, so I'm going back again to being a kid. One of the shows I used to watch a lot and I loved very dearly. So my number two is Angela Bauer, who is Judith Light from Who's the Boss.
Oh, Who's the Boss? Yes.
Yes.
The moment you said Angela Bauer, I'm like, I know that name.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you said Judith Light, I was like, yep, it's Who's the Boss. Okay. I know.
Think about it. You have this mom who's a professional working mom, which, in the 80s, you're starting to see working girl come up, and she's a powerful executive. And so she hires a Brooklyn kind of, he was a baseball player or boxer. He was a boxer, and he was the maid, and he had a daughter who he was raising on his own. And so she was the mother figure to Samantha, and which is Alyssa Milano. So yeah, I kind of like the dynamic they had going there. And then when they fell in love, and I forget the son was Danny, I think, right? Or no, that was Danny Pinto, or I forget his name, but yeah, they had the son as well. It was her son from a different marriage, but it was a kind of a blended family, and they made it work. And there were kind of issues where it was kind of almost like a reverse kind of sexual stereotype, where, here she is the breadwinner, and, here's Tony home cooking, dinner and cleaning up the house and everything. I just thought it was great. And then she would give advice to Alyssa Milano or Samantha, and kind of that Tony couldn't give or impart. So that made her, in my mind, like a great mother.
No, I agree with you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in essence, that show kind of had two great moms, because you also had Mona, which was Angela's mother.
The cougar, or the not cougar, the lioness. I don't even know what you could call her.
I don't even know at that point. I think jaguar is the right term, actually. Yeah. I could be wrong, but no, that's a great choice. And Danny Pintaro,
yes, thank you,
was the son.
Yes.
Man, and that's a show that I have not seen in a long time, probably since it aired, to be honest with you. But I've seen so many other shows reference it. Like, I don't know if you've watched Community at all.
Little bits and pieces of it I have.
But there's a whole episode where Abed goes through a film class, and the title of the class is Who's the Boss? And it's literally the entire class is supposed to be a deep dive and discussion into who was really the boss, whether it was Tony or Angela or Mona. Like, it was a deep dive into that. And Abed comes in on the first day. He's like, it's Angela. And the teacher's like, well, I guess class dismissed. And he's like, no, it's a lot deeper than that. And he tells Abed that if you really feel that confident, you can come in tomorrow and teach the class. And he comes in the next day, and he gives the whole rundown of how Angela is the boss. And the teacher's just like, class dismissed. and that's it. And the class never happens again.
That's awesome. No, but yeah, I think that one, because I was really, my parents were either always out or working or doing whatever. So it was kind of me by myself, a latchkey kid. So I was just watching TV, and those shows kind of really, between that, what was it, like Growing Pains and Family Ties and all that stuff. Like, I lived for that stuff. I loved it. So yeah. They were the ideal family that I never kind of had, and everything like that. So it was, it was kind of cool to see all that stuff.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And that's a great choice for number 2. And it kind of actually, the way you just said, like, that's the ideal family that you would like to have, kind of leads into my number 2, because I'll be honest, my number 1 and my number 2 are incredibly close. Like, I could have swapped them and it would have worked either way. But the way that you just said that, my number 2, I'm glad it is my number 2, because my number 2 mom is a mom that is identical to what you just said. She comes from a family that would have been my ideal family. If I could have had any family, like, this is the family I would have liked to have had. My number 2 is Jill Taylor from Home Improvement.
Very, very good. Very
because
good.
Tim and Jill were, to me, not only the parents I would have loved to have had, but they are also still to this day the parents I would like to be.
Yeah.
Because they're the kind that, like, they're there for their kids, they're there for each other, but they have fun. Like, they poke fun at each other, not in the same way that Al and Peggy do to Kelly and but they prank each other at Halloween, but they're tough on their kids. Like when they discover Randy's pot. Like, yes. They're tough on their kids, but they love them dearly, and they just have fun with them, as well as with each other. Yeah. And like, Jill Taylor, to me, again, could have easily been my number one.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, Tim and Jill are, to me, the ideal family. Like, they are who I hope I become when the day comes that I get married.
Yeah. Well, and you have to figure too, they had 3 completely different sons. You had, I guess, JTT, who was kind of like the pretty boy, Mr. like, smart, studious kind of.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, he wasn't even the pretty boy of the 3 sons. Like,
right.
You had Randy, which was JTT. You had Mark, who was the youngest, who kind of felt like an outcast and went goth for a while. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then, oh my God, why can't I think of the third?
I can't. And he was like a bully. Was he a bully or no? He was in sports.
But he was the jock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was more the pretty boy. Like, he had a ponytail at one point.
That's right.
Mark, Randy, and why can't I think of his name?
Yeah, I know.
As much as I love that show, I don't know why. Now it's going to bother me.
You got to Google it now.
And now I have to. And it's going to, as I know, as soon as I see it, I'm going to be mad that I didn't know it.
I'm checking too.
Mark, Randy, and Brad. Damn it. Yeah, Zachary Ty Bryan was Brad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, no, they were a great representative of kind of like it was the family that kind of we all wish we had, mom and dad, together, and here they are loving the 3 sons and kind of making everything work. There were definitely a few curveballs here and there, but they were kind of always that constant norm,
Yeah. I'm still like, I'd actually love to have, I've been trying to talk to Tim for a while, and even Patricia Richardson, because there was a rumor for a time. There's an episode of Home Improvements in some of the later seasons where Jill has to have a hysterectomy. And when she goes into surgery, the episode ends with them saying there were complications to the surgery. Oh no, I'm sorry. She goes in for some kind of surgery, and due to the complication of the surgery, they have to give her a hysterectomy, which leads into some issues with her dealing with early menopause and such. Mm-hmm. But I heard a rumor that there was actually a time where they were planning on killing her off.
Really?
And making Tim a single father, which I'm really glad they did not go
about. Wow. That would have really changed the dynamic of the show.
Yeah.
That would have been almost like Archie Bunker's place. Like if you're like kind of really going down that road where they kill off Edith.
When they kill off Edith.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Which still breaks my heart. Every once in a while, I'll go back and I'll watch that clip.
Wow.
Of Archie dealing with Edith's death.
Yeah.
Death.
That was pretty hardcore too. Yeah. I mean, but no, that I think that's a great pick. That really is. I think, and you took my number one. So yeah,
I apologize.
Yeah.
Was it Mrs. Wallowitz?
It was Mrs. Wallowitz. Yeah. I mean, she would make him sandwiches. She would kind of do everything for him. And she loved him to death. And, he kind of grew up without a father. And basically he was her world. Right? No, wait. Am I saying it right?
He was her world.
He was her world. Yes.
Yeah.
And so, basically the son revolved around him, and she would do anything and to appease, make him happy. And, here he's got his own room. I'm sure he's living rent free. And, of course there's trade-offs where he probably has to rub her feet, or I think he had to do some
massage her. He had to put lotion on her back. And because there's the one episode where he has the estrogen cream that he has to put on her back, and he asks Bernadette to get her more, and she's like, "How did you go through this already?" He's like, "Well, the doctor didn't anticipate the square footage of my mother's back." But I mean, but at the same time too, like Mrs. Wallowitz, in her eyes, Howard never grew up into a man, which could kind of be an issue, but it became more a comic relief issue. Like anytime the school called, or anytime somebody called to see if Howard was at work, she always said he was at school. Yeah. Like it wasn't work, it was school. Mm-hmm. Which he worked at a school, so it was still kind of fair. And
but when he went off to space, he would, she didn't like that. She was vehemently against it.
Oh, she was against it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, very protective, and that's her baby. So yeah, I could understand why.
And in earlier episodes, anytime Leonard or Sheldon would come over, she always asked to make them like milk and cookies.
Yes. Is your friend sleeping over?
So, I mean, it got a little sad towards the end because you could tell she was very lonely, especially with Howard living with Bernadette and such. But I mean,
and then she had what's his name? Stuart. And
Stuart lived with her for a while. Yep.
And Stuart became a love interest, and then Howard got jealous. And yeah, that was a whole nother play and dynamic that was awesome how they kind of went about it. So yeah.
it's a love interest in an unorthodox way. Like they weren't romantic and intimate.
Right.
But they were companions to one another. Like Howard, not Howard. You mentioned his name. Why can't I think of Stuart?
Stuart, yeah.
Stuart and Mrs. Wallowitz became companions to one another because Howard had moved out, so she was lonely. Howard has been single most of his life, so he was lonely. So when they moved in and he became her caretaker for a while, they just became companions. And Howard didn't exactly like that for a while.
Yeah, and I think they became, and she paid for Stuart for the comic store, right?
To reopen the comic book store.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, no, but Mrs. Wallowitz is a good choice for number 1 too. So I apologize for taking that one, but
no. We're on the same page.
It was on your list. Which I think leads me to my number 1. Again, could have easily been my number 2, could have been flip-flopped with Jill Taylor, but just a mother that I absolutely adore because more than anything else, I think she is hysterical. I went with Kitty Foreman from That 70s Show.
Yeah. I can see it.
Red would also be in my top 5 list of TV dads because like just the fact that he constantly called Foreman a dumbass. He called everybody a dumbass.
Yeah.
But Kitty was always more like she loved Red, but when it came time between Red or Eric, she usually chose Eric's side.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like she in front of Red would agree with Red, but the moment Red left the room, she backed Eric or Donna or any of the other kids.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I feel like makes her a great mom was because she was Eric's mother by blood, but she was also Kelso's mom. She was she was the mom of all of the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
By proxy, because they were always there and they were Eric's friends. Yeah. And that's kind of how I grew up too, is that, I grew up with friends where my friends' moms always told me to call them mom. My friends called my mom.
Yeah.
So just that dynamic with Kitty kind of, it's kind of reflective as to how I grew up. And it's one of those reasons why I feel like Kitty has to be, like I said, towards the top of this list.
Absolutely. And now are they, so I know they're doing the remake, right? I know that the main cast is basically coming back, but they haven't even talked. Are the parents like too old? Or are they like,
no, they're there.
Okay.
They actually, Netflix actually just shared an image of Red and Kitty not too long ago. And their kitchen hasn't changed. I think it's like the 90s now in the show. I think it's that 90s show.
Yes.
But it shows Kitty and Red sitting at their kitchen table, and their table hasn't changed in like 30 years, which I think is hysterical.
That's awesome.
But I think it's also very fitting.
Yes. So and I think it'll be great to see Kelso and what's her name? Mila
Kunis.
Yes, Mila Kunis.
Yeah, I can't remember her character either.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
It's actually been a while since I've seen the show, but I can't remember. Yeah, I think out of the entire main cast, I think the only one not returning for obvious reasons is Danny Masterson.
Yeah.
It's Hyde. But I mean, Hyde, you could very easily.
Yeah.
He was like a stoner and a pothead. Like you can just say he's in prison.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it's easy to write him off.
Absolutely.
So, but no, those are all 5, man. Those are great on both of our parts. Ordinarily, we take a break at this point to hear from some sponsors. But since we don't have any feedback this week to read on the podcast, we're going to forego the break and we're going to go right into the honorable mentions. So do you have any honorable mentions. And these are ones we can just mention real quick. We don't have to go into like deep discussions like we did the top 5. If you have any, we can kind of just go back and forth and name kind of some honorable mentions of some moms we want to make mention of.
Yeah, I mean, I have 3. I had 4. I thought about it, but now I'm like, no. I had 3. I guess number 3 in that list was I have Marge Simpson.
Marge Simpson is in my honorable mentions as well. Yep.
To put up with Homer and, to have Bart, like, again, she's dealing with all these different personalities, and she's the glue that keeps everyone together, and is the moral fiber of the whole group,
Yeah.
So I think she's great. And I love when she gets with her sisters, Selma and Patty. Marge, please speak to Marge. I love them.
And she's also dealing with kids that never age.
Right, exactly.
They never get out of elementary school.
No, never. Bart's always in detention. And,
he's always getting in trouble. One of my honorable mentions I had to make mention of is Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show.
I almost did it, but I didn't know if that was going to be a taboo thing because of Bill Cosby, so I wasn't.
I think it's fine. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I think the dealings with Bill Cosby is a sensitive topic, but I'm somebody who's usually always been able to separate the projects from the person. Like, yes. I know there are people who aren't fans of Tom Cruise because of Scientology, but me, I can't wait for Top Gun.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I love the Mission Impossible movies. Like,
same. Mm-hmm.
I can separate it. And, when it comes to Bill Cosby, like, yes, it's a little taboo to talk about it, but the Cosby Show is still very near and dear to my heart.
Yes. I mean, every Thursday night.
It's still fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. And you waited for whenever they had like the dance, kind of like their little music.
Oh, the anniversary dances.
Yes.
They were great.
Yes. And then, whenever I saw her next, what was it? I guess it was Creed, right? She was in Creed.
Yes. Yeah. She's Creed's mom.
So I saw her, I'm like, oh, it's Claire, but, but hey, you got to figure, in that show broke down stereotypes, because here we have, Claire's a lawyer. You have Cliff Huxtable. He's a doctor. So they're living like in this nice brownstone and everything like that. And, they did well, and they were grounded. They treated their kids. They didn't spoil them. They were tough. And Claire totally has one.
And Claire was another no nonsense mom. When her kids did something wrong, she smacked the ruler, man.
Yes, she did.
She came down like thunder.
Mm-hmm. She had a smile, and then switch it right to like it was straight.
You're right. It's a flip of a switch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's another one on your list?
So I have Betty Rubble.
Betty Rubble, nice.
So Betty Rubble, and I always think of the term, she's a Betty. Growing up in the 90s, it's Betty Rubble. Because at least that was my take from, when you call someone a Betty, that beautiful or whatever. I guess that was my take on it. But, Betty, here Betty had a doofy husband, and, she kind of put up with stuff. She had an uber strong kid, and, she was friends with Wilma, and you couldn't ask for a better neighbor. And, as for a mom, I like Betty. She brunette. I'll take the brunette over.
I was more into Betty than Wilma too.
Yeah,
for sure. Wilma is another good mom in her own right, but I was more into Betty than Wilma too.
And that little laugh she did.
Yeah, the little chuckle.
Yes.
Another one on my honorable mentions. I went with Morticia Addams from the Addams Family. Again, unorthodox, but I know so many people who look at Morticia and Gomez as relationship goals.
Yeah.
Like, it's a dark relationship, but like I don't think there's ever been two characters who've shown more love for each other.
Deeply in love, yes.
Than Morticia and Gomez.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And with their kids as well. Like, they gave their kids whatever they wanted, not to the point of spoiling them, but they took care of them. And again, it was a dark relationship.
Yes.
But it was incredibly loving.
Yes. And Gomez loved her to death, man. I mean, and he to I guess his dying breath or whatever, he'll always, that's his, Morticia is his wife. Yeah. I mean, Yes.
And I know, like, I was just talking to some friends about this before. I know Oscar Isaac does the voice of Gomez in the Addams Family animated movie.
I didn't know that.
Forget that. I want to see Oscar Isaac as Gomez Addams in a live action.
That'd be cool.
I want to see it.
That's a great casting choice. I think that would be fantastic. But then who would be Morticia?
I don't know. Like, that's a good. I mean, how can you get any better than Angelica Houston?
You can't.
I mean, I think she was perfect casting for that role, but obviously, like, she's maybe Christina Ricci, like, go from Wednesday to Morticia.
That would make the most sense. I mean, she's pretty. I've seen her do a wide variety of stuff. Like, did you see her in Yellow Jackets? She's pretty. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I think she could do it.
I think that would be the best progression you could possibly do.
Yeah.
I'd be in for that one.
So who is your final honorable mention?
My final honorable mention is Wanda Maximoff, because
why didn't I think of that?
Because she and I have not seen Doctor Strange yet.
Okay, so good. I was going to say yes. No Doctor Strange spoilers.
But that show, I first had to say, like, that show, WandaVision, just broke. It was so groundbreaking with how it just kind of progressed through everything. And the first 2 episodes, I'm like, this show is going to be the worst show ever. And no, it wasn't. I think out of all the TV shows, I think it's the best one. I think she, her love for Vision, a deep love. And then when they had their 2 children, basically that it set her over the edge when she lost them. I mean, these kids meant everything to her. And so I here she is, they all have their special powers and they go about it and kind of do their own thing. I mean, it's just a great loving relationship, and then a great mom. She obviously loved those boys, even though kind of they were plunked into a weird situation and kind of grew every episode. But she was a great mom.
No, that's a good choice. And I didn't even consider that one. And then the moment you said Wanda, my mind instantly went to Maximoff. And I know you haven't seen it yet, but when you do get the chance to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, you have to let me know. Okay. Because we need to talk about it.
Yeah, because she's fiercely protective of her children. Like, I mean, to the point where, like, you didn't mess, and she would, like, destroy a town if she could, or just to save them. Yeah. So yeah, it's.
Oh, she literally took over a town to create and keep her kids alive.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, but no, that's a great choice. I don't know why I didn't even think about it. That's a good honorable mention. Cool. I have a couple more. I'll run through them really quick. Joyce Summers from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Buffy's mom. Another heartbreaking death when that actually happened. But a very loving mom who was very protective, even when she found out that her daughter was the Slayer. She was still overly protective, like a mom should be. Yeah. Another Joyce Bowers from Strange Indeed. Or Stranger Things.
Okay.
Strange Indeed is the podcast my friends do about Strange Indeed. Things. But no, Joyce Bowers from Stranger Things, again. Yeah. Refused to believe, she had that mother's intuition, refused to believe that her son was dead, and literally crossed over into another realm to find him. Yeah. Yeah. And she would not give up. And people thought she was crazy, but she didn't care. Yeah. So yeah, Joyce Bowers from Stranger Things. I actually can't wait for that show to come back. This is Winona Ryder. I mean, Winona, back in the day, it's Winona Ryder. Johnny Depp. Hey, he's got a tattoo. Winona. Well, he had Winona forever, and it changed to Wino forever. But he loved Winona Ryder. So, yeah. How can you not? Yeah. And my last one is kind of a twofer. I just went with Claire Dunphy and Gloria Delgado from Modern Family. Okay. Just because I think they were both. I mean, Gloria alone was hysterical. With her and Manny, and then eventually their son that her and Ed O'Neill's character had, which I can't remember the son's name now. Yeah, I can't. But Claire, again, also, I mean, Julie Bowen is just gorgeous. Oh yeah, from Happy Gilmore, right? Happy Gilmore, yep. Yes, yep. But still gorgeous as a mom, and just her and Claire and Phil were just constantly hysterical. Yes. And she's in Hubie Halloween too,
when he did that thing that Adam Sandler did his Halloween movie.
I haven't seen it.
He brought her back in there, so she's love interest in there.
Oh, I will have to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Any other honorable mentions, or was that it for your list?
I think that's it. I was going to do was it Catelyn Stark? Stark
from Game
mother?
of Thrones?
Yes, but I'm like, nah, that's really involved. And that's
if you go that route, you could also go Daenerys Targaryen because she was the mother of dragons.
Absolutely.
So you could go that route.
True.
It wouldn't have been a bad. It wouldn't have been a bad choice.
That would have been a very hardcore kind of like a very in-depth discussion. But yeah, I think after the Red Wedding, I was like, no. Oh wait, we're not spoilers.
We're well past spoiler territory for Game of Thrones.
Okay, good.
I give it like 2 to 3 years. If you're not caught up at that point, we're well past that point.
Good point.
The Red Wedding.
Yes.
Cool. So now that we've gotten through that, on the next episode of Wilhelm, the next main episode anyway, we're going to be diving into the filmography of George Clooney, revealing our top 5 favorite films from his catalog. I know we had originally planned on doing this episode back before I ended up having to take the unexpected break, but since we didn't get to it, we're going to do it in the next one. So that episode will drop 2 weeks from now on Monday, May 30th. But in the meantime, I've got some really great bonus episodes coming up, including conversations with Roger Clark and Rob Wiedoff from the Red Dead Redemption games. They're going to be part of the Wilhelm Spotlight series, and a film review of the upcoming Top Gun Maverick, which we mentioned earlier, because I'm going to be attending an advanced screening of that later this week. So,
oh man, you have to see it in IMAX. You have to see it in IMAX. You have to see it in the best possible theater that's around. You cannot see it anywhere else because it won't do it justice.
I don't know if the screening I'm going to is at an IMAX screen, but it doesn't mean I won't go see it again.
Right.
In an IMAX screen. And I'm incredibly excited because I will firmly admit I love Top Gun, the original, but I do think some people overhype it. Like they make it out to be like this masterpiece of a movie, and it's really not. It's
Iron Eagle is better.
I wouldn't go that far.
My kid and I watched it the other day, and we discussed it. It was a in-depth discussion.
Well, Sensei Lawrence likes Iron Eagle, so
yes,
that could be the case. It could be right. I haven't seen it in a while, but from everything I've heard about this movie, they literally are saying like this is a close to perfect movie.
I've heard it too, and that's why they did not want it to come out in a small screen during the pandemic. It only had to be on the main big screen. So
I mean, and Kenny Loggins himself was on Rob Lowe's podcast a couple months ago, and he had an opportunity to see it back at that point because he said Danger Zone is absolutely in the movie because it's not a Top Gun without Danger Zone. Which he wrote for Top Gun. But even he said when he was on Rob's podcast, even he said it's incredible. Like he said the stunts alone, like the visuals alone are mind boggling. I'm incredibly excited for it. So once I get the chance to see that, I'm going to that screening on the 18th. So, which is the Wednesday after this episode posts. So when you're hearing this, it's that coming Wednesday. I will do the movie doesn't come out until Memorial Day weekend. So it doesn't come out for another week and a half after the screening. So I'm going to do my review is going to be spoiler free. So nobody has to worry about any kind of spoilers, but
cool.
I'm definitely going to record a short something as a bonus episode of Wilhelm to let you know what I thought of the movie, to let people hopefully encourage to get out to theaters to see it. So
awesome.
So what about you? Anything you kind of want to plug? Any podcasts you're listening to that you enjoy? And I want you to give me a recommendation for just something right now you feel people should check out.
Picard, Star Trek Picard. I just finished that. It's
so good.
So good. And then I guess I am waiting with bated breath for Obi-Wan. That is my favorite character in all canon. Please, God, Disney, do not mess this one up. Ewan McGregor he saved that whole prequel, and he is by far the best Obi-Wan that there could be. So,
and that's what, the 27th?
27th, and they're dropping two
episodes.
Two episodes, yes.
And I think you said you're staying up to watch them, aren't
absolutely,
you?
Yes.
You're not even waiting.
Yes. Luckily, we have Fridays off from work, so I'll be prepping, I'll be, pre-gaming, and we'll be good to go. So
I haven't done that for a while. I did that with WandaVision because WandaVision was so intriguing to me that I needed to know what was going to happen next. So every week throughout the run of WandaVision, I stayed up until 3 a.m. because we're on the East Coast, so it doesn't drop until 3 a.m.
Yep.
And I watched every single episode of WandaVision at 3 a.m. the day it dropped.
That's
and then I did it again, not for the entire run, but for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I stayed up for the finale.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see, spoiler, I wanted to see Sam don that suit.
Yes.
Because I knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't want to wait until the morning. Like, it's already 1:30. I'll stay up an hour and a half. I need to see Sam put that suit on.
True.
And I was right in the beginning of the episode, and I was so excited.
Yeah. And then I think mine was Loki. That was Loki. But WandaVision and Loki were my two. They were fantastic. I think the way they kind of introduced everything and kind of concepts of it and everything, I think it was they were two radically different shows. And I think it was just fantastically done. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was but those two.
I mean, look, those Marvel shows are subjective. They're very subjective. Different people are into different things. I've enjoyed them all, but
absolutely.
There are definitely some that are higher on my list. Like me personally, out of all the shows so far, including Moon Knight, which I loved, Hawkeye is my favorite.
Really? See, I watched the first 2 episodes, I think, and I just haven't had a chance to get and watch the following ones.
I just liked it because it's incredibly grounded. I love how they dealt with PTSD with Clint. I think Haley Atwell is an incredible addition to that universe.
Yes, agreed.
Hawkeye to me just really was more cohesive and put together. Not to say none of the other shows weren't, but that to me, that just stood out to me more. And Hawkeye still is my favorite.
Yeah.
But I've loved them all. I've enjoyed all of the shows. And I know we've got coming up next month, we have Ms. Marvel.
Yes.
So
I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm excited for that as well. But I'm excited for Obi-Wan too.
Yes.
I'm incredibly excited because the other show that I remember staying up to watch the finale for, and because I went to bed with puffy eyes, was the season finale of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
When we got Luke.
That was,
When that X-Wing shows up, like I cried. I had chills. It was every emotion. Yeah. I turned into a 9-year-old at that point, and it was probably the best moment that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And Favreau, man.
Yeah.
They just need to handle everything Star Wars going
Seriously,
forward.
honestly, just let them do everything.
Yep. Cool. So anything you want to plug in addition, or is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much it. I think I'm good to go.
All right, cool.
I appreciate you, giving me this opportunity. This was really enjoyable. And thanks, Ben.
And I hope you get to come back on because I think this was a lot of fun. And hopefully, you for never having been on a podcast before, you couldn't tell.
Oh, thank you, man.
You ran with the conversation and such. So yeah, I hope to have you back on, and I hope you had a great time doing this.
Absolutely. This was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So before I go, obviously, I want to encourage you guys to follow the show online, facebook.com/the Wilhelm podcast. You can follow me on Instagram @the Wilhelm pod. And if you have any ideas for the show or you want to be a guest at any point, you can always email me directly, thewilhelmpodcast@gmail.com. Last but not least, if you enjoy the show, don't forget to leave a review for me on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you're listening on, if they allow you to leave reviews. I think that's it. Mike, thanks again for coming on.
Thanks, Ben. This was awesome. I mean, great first experience, and you great guide. You guided me through everything. Thank you. And no, I'm really appreciative. This was really fun. I do hope I'm able to do some in the future for you.
You'll be back on. You'll be
awesome.
back on for sure. But with all that said, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being a part of the audience, and thank you for all the support. But until next time, we'll see you on another episode of Wilhelm. Take care.